An imaginary universe always existed, but was never discovered until one day, one small prayer from one determined cat was answered. This adventurous cat is Curlee Cool. Curlee was a stray. He grew up in a cave surrounded by pine trees near a small town. He bathed in a spring and ate food from the neighborhood trash cans. Curlee enjoyed creating new inventions from the junk he collected. One time, he found an old beat-up trumpet laying alongside the railroad tracks. He picked it up, hammered it out, and tried to play a song, but it sounded more like a sick violin than a trumpet. While lying flat on his back, looking up at the sky, he loved making shapes from the white puffy clouds during the day and counting the bright, shiny stars at night. At night, just before falling asleep, he would make up his own prayer of thanks and would always say, "Please help me fly like an angel into outer space so I can discover new, beautiful worlds." At other times, he would get a bit more creative. "Now I lay me down to sleep. Don't let a creepy bug bite my feet. Be sure to watch over my friends so dear. Don't let them stick bubble gum in my ear. That's all I can think of to say for now, so many thanks. Good night and meow." Curlee spent most of his time during the day building flying machines that would hopefully get him into outer space. First, there was the Birdie Mobile 500, which he made from some fishnet, pipe cleaners, and 500 birds. It was working fine until the birds started flying south for the winter. His next bright idea was the Hottie Air 1000, which he made from a giant garbage bag, lots of string, an old plastic clothes basket, and 1,000 half-burnt candles. This contraption worked well until the winds picked up. And he couldn't light the candles fast enough to keep his machine in the air. His most tasty machine of all was the Bubular Blast 1500. It was made from 1,500 chewed pieces of bubblegum, all stuck together and blown up into one gigantic bubble by an old hairdryer. This seemed like a great idea, but what Curlee didn't realize was that some goofy geese love bubblegum. Needless to say, things got a bit sticky up there. In total, Curlee concocted 7 flying contraptions. And not one could get him to outer space. But his luck was about to change. One warm summer night, while Curlee was wandering down the alley, he heard that sweet, familiar sound. Click, clink, click, clink. A metal lid closing on top of a trash can. It was like music to his ears. Wednesday was always Curlee's favorite day. That was the day before trash pickup day. There were always new things to discover just after sundown. His favorite dumpster by far was just outside the back door of the Sigelli house. Young Sam Sigelli loved science and would always throw away his experiments gone bad. Curlee thought Sam put the ooh in cool. He was the coolest of all humans, full of imagination and creativity. While approaching the trash can, Curlee couldn't help but notice that something a bit strange was going on. The can was smoking and rattling. Bright colors were glowing from inside. Curly lifted the lid and very carefully peeked inside. Holy stars! It must be my birthday, he thought. Inside, before his very eyes, was a large metal container labeled homemade rocket fuel. He snatched it up and ran home. When Curly got back to his cave, he was so excited he could hardly keep his tail from wagging off. He opened his trunk of junk and began digging for parts and pieces of what would be his final flying machine. Leaf blower, plus skateboard, plus super duper glue, plus leather belt, plus fishbowl, plus rocket fuel, and voila! The rocket board was born. Curly climbed on the rocket board and pushed the blower's start button. One loud blast, one big puff of smoke, one huge liftoff. Our wide-eyed cat hero shot into space. With such force he could barely keep his fur on. It was as if he was flying a gazillion miles a minute. And that, my friends, was the last time Curlee Cool was to be seen on this planet.